Hey gang, it's nanicrypto coming to you today with the news of the moment. Bitcoin has hit again an all-time high twice in 1 month, 6,000 USD. Very exciting about that. Now there's a big fork coming up on the 24th of October, which we'll probably leave for another video. However, today what we're going to do is analyze the market and check a few of the tools that we've spoken about in the past, and we're going to see what Bitcoin's doing and where it's at. So just going on to the page we checked yesterday, so coinmarketcap.com is the page we'll be looking at, and it tells us, so apart from the fact that it's one of the few coins that's still in the green, we have reached the 100 billion market cap, which is huge. The value right now of Bitcoin is just skyrocketing, and it's very, very exciting times. So if I just click on Bitcoin there. Now, the great thing about CoinMarketCap is it goes back quite a way. So right here, we've got September 13 till September 17. Now, as you can see, if you look right down the bottom, you can see the volumes of Bitcoin didn't really start having any significance till about 2016 when it hit 593. So it obviously started going up. But then, as you can see, this year, and we'll go into this chart into a bit more detail when we look at our trading view page, but it has just skyrocketed. It doesn't look like it's slowing down at all. So it's actually increased 8.37% in the last 24 hours. And if you look at our blue line, which is the market cap, it's obviously increasing up there with the price. So a lot of people wanting to get into the market. I'm not going to say that buying Bitcoin at 6,000 USD is the best way to go. The one really important thing we have to realize is normally when Bitcoin hits all-time highs, it does a bit of a correction now. This correction may happen now, or the correction may happen after the fork. So there's a fork on the 25th of October, which is when we will be getting Bitcoin Gold, which will be a new altcoin. And there's another fork happening on the 1st of November. So still up in whether it will happen before then, but they do say that once the fork is over, that there will be a significant correction in Bitcoin. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about purchasing Bitcoin. Probably is a really good idea to hold off until after the market stabilizes a bit. One of the things that we'll notice once we go to look at the chart is that Bitcoin has done quite a few corrections, and that normally when it peaks, it comes down again to stabilize, create a support line, and then jump back up again. So that's CoinMarketCap, as we can see. Very exciting things there. Now, one of the other really important things with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, definitely advise you guys to have a Twitter account. Twitter keeps you up to date on what's happening in the market. You have the latest news. If there's anything exciting, if there's an event coming up, it's just anything that has to do with things like, so if I click on here, so always keep the top news up. What I did was I'll just do it again. So we've just done a hash Bitcoin search, and it's just giving us the latest and greatest news. As you can see here, number one news all around the world, Bitcoin surges to over 6,000 to set new record for 2 weeks in a row. Yes. So I think it was back on the 10th of October, if not incorrect. Obviously, the 100 billion market, which we have with Bitcoin at the moment, as she says, which is very, very true, because BTC keeps proving everybody wrong. Nobody controls it. Everybody tries, and they fail miserably. BTC is at an all-time high. Obviously, our CoinMarketCap, which we also follow. Cointelegraph, another really, really good page with Bitcoin news. Just a few other things. If you think Bitcoin will hit 7,000 in the next 30 days, I don't think it will, because I actually think it will, and we'll go to the charts a little later on and I'll show you why, but I believe it's going to peak at about 6,300, and then it will do its correction, and that will depend on the timeline around the forks. but that's what I believe is going to happen. And when we look at a time frame, we'll see that sometimes it can take anywhere between 2, 3 to 4 weeks for that to come on the uptrend again. So that's definitely something to keep a lookout for. That is very true though. 7. So actually, that's a great place. So we'll just retweet that. So it went from 0 to 1 in 1,789 days, 1,000 to $2,000 US in 1,271 days, 2,000 to 3,023 days, 3 to 4 in 62 days, 45 in 61 days, and 5 to 6 in 8 days. Wow, that's unbelievable. And to me, the reason that's happening is because Bitcoin stopped being a coin that was being mined by just a few people, and only a few people know about it, to it is now in everybody's mind. So there's news about it, big news companies like, CNN, and I've seen there was an article in Fortune magazine or something like that. So, people or magazines or institutions that are quite heard through the world when it comes to business are talking about Bitcoin. So everybody's realizing that Bitcoin isn't just a coin. It isn't just something that's going to come and go away. It isn't just, now a lot of people will say, but it's intangible. Yes, it is. But I can tell you now that if I bought Bitcoin a month ago, it was worth, a month ago I think it was about worth $5,000. Today it's worth $6,000. So I've made $1,000 US without doing anything. So, and the market believes that Bitcoin has a potential, and you can see some news around, to get to $10,000 US. Bitcoin is starting to be considered in a whole bunch of countries. I know Venezuela's considered it because their currency isn't worth anything. Countries like India have legalized it. I know Japan legalized it, and they're now got their own exchange. So Bitcoin is not going anywhere. It is here to stay. And you decide whether you want to be part of this very exciting cryptocurrency that will rock the finance world, or you can sit on the sidelines and watch other people make money and hold the Bitcoin. So I believe that today Bitcoin is, I guess, a luxury. People buy it because they want to. It's a need, it's a want, not a need. But I believe one day it will be a need. So people will stop using, things like fiat and bills, and they will actually start using BTC. So just my 2 cents, my 2 Satoshis worth of what I think about Bitcoin. So that's Twitter for you. Just going to quickly jump into, so this is our Bittrex page. We can see the current price of Bitcoin is 6,035. Volume is increasing by the second, which is obviously very important. And then if I go into the order book, now as you can see, we've got quite a few sell orders. There's obviously people, so this is the wall art is talking about. I think it's going to hit 6,200, then it's going to come back down again. But then there are people who think it's going to hit 6,600. So, and that may or may not be the case anytime soon. I still think it's going to do a correction. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so that's BTC. And then if we jump over to Poloniex, it's currently 6,075, with obviously a very, very high volume. And if we go down here to the order box, it's actually quite different. It tells a different story on this. I've got a whole bunch of buy orders coming through. So there are a lot of people buying at 6,000. Wow. I personally would not buy BTC at $6,000. I believe it's going to come back down. But obviously people want to get into the market at some point. So people are now realizing that it's no joke, that Bitcoin is here to stay. So now let's jump into the exciting part. Now, I've tried to remove all of my drawing tools from this chart because I really want to try and analyze, and I guess just give everybody an idea of how Bitcoin has been working for the last, I want to do a 2017 analysis of technical analysis of what Bitcoin has done, and just give anybody out there an idea of what you can be looking at when you're looking at Bitcoin. Now, if we go back to 2010, now this I'll also try and just throw in a few details regarding how to use TradingView and a few of the different tools while I'm analyzing this chart. So if there's anything that you would like more details on, please don't hesitate to leave a comment on the video, and I can do further down the track just a video just on TradingView. So this is BTC back in 2017. Now if I put my mouse on top of where I want it to be, it will tell me here. Now I'm going to try and move all the way over here, but here we go. That is the value. Oh, it's gone. That's the value right there. So when I did it, it didn't show me, but it was $913. So if I go back to January 2017, Bitcoin was worth $913. That is crazy. Wow, that's huge. So what I can do is if I try and put a horizontal line there, which is, oh, I knew it was going to do that. Let's see if we can hide some of these things. I might just have to start from scratch so that you guys don't get confused. Actually, let's do something else. Let's try a chart that I haven't scribbled all over. Let's try Coinbase. Okay, let's get rid of, where are we? Let's get rid of this. We'll get rid of that. We will get rid of this. What is that blue? I really don't know what those blue lines are. That's probably some kind of analysis I did at some point. But we'll get rid of that. I really want a clean chart to explain to you guys what I want to explain. And let's go back. Okay, so this is the chart again. 2017. So if I go back to how much it was worth in 2017, we get about the same value. So $900 was roughly what it was worth in 2017. So what I wanted to do is if you grab this, now these tools that I've set up here are just tools that I use often. But if you come over here, I've got to remember where that tool is. That's not it. Here we go. I think it might, oh, here we go. So these are the different tools. So anything that I've got a star next to means that it will go and place itself right at the top. So if you wanted to have like the trend angle, see, it's just gone and out of it, which I don't use. I'm just going to leave that there for now. Now, if I just place a line here, so currently the value is about 6,011. It's actually gone quite higher than that. It's gone up about $100, and we'll find out why in a second. And then if I go and use my, I'm just going to get back here and use this tool, I can get an idea. So if I go from here to here, actually I can probably go all the way over there. Now what does this tool tell me? Bitcoin in 293 days has gone up 536%. That is amazing. Okay, so that's just a tool that you can use to kind of give you an average of how much it's increased over the years. So we'll just get rid of that for now. And we'll get rid of that line. Now the other thing that's really good idea to do when you're drawing charts is to get an idea of where the market's going to go. So if I draw, so I was using a couple of lines before. If I go from here to down there. Now I really like to use these lines because it gives me an idea of the channel that it's following. And as you can see, Bitcoin has consistently gone up and gone down, gone up and gone down, gone up. So as you know, it is going to go back down again. So let's just draw, and the best way to look at these lines is if I grab that line and I do Control C, Control V. I just did a copy of that line. Place that line about there. You'll see we have a channel where Bitcoin has been in since So if you go all the way back down here, it will show you the date. So you can see right down the bottom of that grey box, it will show you the date that it's out. So since, let's go back a little bit more, down here, 23rd of March 2017, it's been in that channel. That is a great chart. Now, I know some people are going to wonder what my green, orange, and white lines are. Now, I'm not even going to try to explain these lines. If you want to know more about these lines, I would advise to follow BK Crypto Trader on YouTube. Great person, Brandon Kelly, who has taught me this method, and I'm not even going to take credit for it because he's absolutely amazing. So I will add a link to his YouTube channel in the comments or in the description of the video, and you can go and jump onto his page. I know he's got a playlist which is called, I believe, the Boss Method, and you can go and check that over there. So I'm not even going to try to explain it in this chart. But basically what these charts are telling us is it is going down slow. As you can see, when Bitcoin does spike, so if I grab that tool that I was using just a second ago, and I do this, it will tell me that in the space of 35 days, it went down 34%. Okay, so that's that one. If I do that again, and I go that in the space of 84 days, 14 days, it went down 30% again. So as we can see, when Bitcoin spikes, it goes down about 30%. So keeping that in mind, now let's get rid of January and let's look at the more immediate graph. Sorry, get rid of that. Now, if I turn on the candles, now what are the candles? The candles are basically the peaks. Everything that's green is people buying, everything that's red is people selling. Here we go. It's a really good idea of, so currently it's at 612.30. So as you can see, it's actually gone out of my channel and it's just spiking, which is great to see. Obviously there's a lot of, so it actually went down to, let's see what this is, 5,117 and did a spike again. Now, every time it's done, now there's a tier line that I can use which will give me a date range. If I go from here to here, 82 days, that's about 2 months. Okay, if I do another one, let's use that one again. If I go from here to here, actually let's use this one, that's 50 days. Okay. So what we think is going to happen, so because this has spiked again, we believe it's going to go back down again. So now, how else do you know how far it's going to go? So another great tool to use, I might just leave those there for now, get rid of those candles, is if you look at, there's a tool called the Fibonacci tracing. So if I use that tool and go from breakdown to, let's just use that one. Actually, no, I can't do that because it hasn't reached its peak yet. Let's use the last. So if I go, and I can't use that one either because, let's just try and use that one and see where it places us. This actually tells us it's going to hit 6,600. So sometimes it's a bit tricky to try and find where, actually going to, oh, sorry about that. I'm actually going to change it. We're going to move this one. You need to stay there. We're going to grab that one and we're going to delete it. And we're just going to draw it again up to here from breakup. From breakup, breakdown to break. Let's try it again. Now, sometimes when you draw these Fibonacci lines, it can give you a good idea of what the market's doing and how high it's going to go. Just analyzing here what Bitcoin's doing. So this is really good. Obviously, it's on an uptrend, but at some point we know it's got to come back down again. If you double click on the Fibonacci, it will actually give you some more values. Now that was one, it's got 1618. It's actually all the way one there. I'm just gonna add these two. Okay, just so we can get a better idea. So this is where I think it's going to get to. 1, 2, 2. And then I believe it's going to come back down to here. Now the reason I think it's going to come back down to here is because when I grab my support line and I draw it about here, that didn't work. My support line there is what we need to. It's actually grabbing the graph I was using before, so I'm just going to try and minimize that one and see if it will let me draw the line that I'm trying to draw, which is this line. There we go. Finally, that's the line that I wanted to draw. Let's grab this one. Put that back up there. So this is what I think is going to happen. Bitcoin will hit 6,200, which is this support line here. 62, and if we just draw the line, let's just draw this one. So what I think will happen is it will actually go obviously keep going up, and then I think it's actually going to come down. Now where it goes from here will really depend on what the market's actually doing and when this actually happens. The ideal world would be for it to kind of do this and then stay within that and just keep on going straight back up. But it will really depend on, like I said, the timeline when it does this and when it's actually going to go back up again. So it's going to go down. Actually, that line might have been a bit high. So you're probably going to do something like this. I don't think it will go up to 6682. And then it will keep on doing that transition. So I guess the really important thing to note is it will go back down again. Hopefully it should just touch the support and go back up, but it may come back down again. Some very interesting Bitcoin analysis and what's happening to it. So I guess the important thing is to analyze each coin. Each coin is different. Each coin will tell you what's happening in the market, where it's at, whether it's coming down, going up. But it's really important to use the different tools that you have to analyze each one, because every single graph is different. Like each graph has its own analysis. Each graph has its own pattern. And once you analyze that pattern, then you should be able to, buy at the dips and sell at the spikes. I wish it were that easy. Anyway, this video went a bit longer than expected. I hope you find this useful. Just some news about what's happening with Bitcoin and everything going on with the $6,000 saga. But if we actually get rid of all this, we can see that currently Bitcoin is at 6,100, so it's still going up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I invite you to share it with as many people as possible. The more people know about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrency, the more value will be added into our charts. This is your friend nanicrypto saying goodbye for today, and look forward to seeing you again back on this channel. Thanks. Bye.